Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be installing this UPR Oil Catch Can on my 2018 Charger Daytona. As you can see here, very good quality kit. All billet, comes with all the fittings you're going to need, as well as the nice braided hoses. Some of the tools you're going to need: a couple flatheads, needle nose, and maybe some side cutters. Instructions are really nice. Lay out exactly where you're going to need to mount this thing. The first thing I noticed is it shows you this upper and this lower mounting hole. Well, when you look in here at the engine, both of those holes are actually filled right now. So they're filled with these wire ties that you can see here, and one right down here too. So again, you can kind of see how that lines up here. So that'd be the reason you're going to need that flathead and the needle nose right off the bat, is to get this out, and then you could probably just clip that off or zip tie it to the new Z bracket that comes on the oil catch can. So let's go ahead and get that removed, and we'll go from there. Alright, so as you can see here, got this pulled out, and now I exposed that nice hole. Again, that upper mounting bracket that's required to mount the Z bracket. Pretty much all that's in there is just this plastic retaining clip for this wiring harness that goes up to your injectors up here. So, like I said, when you're getting that out, you really don't, it didn't require a ton of force. You probably don't want to be putting a bunch of bends and stress or pulling on it with your hands. All that I did was take my flathead, just put it here and just worked it back and forth just like that. Once I got it out far enough, I grabbed my needle nose, just kind of went behind it and just worked it out. Like I said, now that we have that mounting hole, you're probably not going to need this on there anymore. I'm going to take a look and just see what's kind of the best course of action to do with that. Again, it looks like it has some heat tape on it, some other stuff. So just want to make sure you keep it away from the block in whatever way you finally get this thing mounted. So like I said, the catch can arrived from UPR with the bracket already mounted, with these fittings already installed. So like I said, it's got some nice weight to it. I did a ton of research, and actually, yeah, this was one of the ones that came highly recommended. So we'll go ahead and get the catch can and the bracket mounted, and we'll go from there. Like I said, we're using this upper mounting hole. Kind of see here, upper mounting hole, 6.4 Hemi 208. So that's where we fall in. So again, you'd use those lower mounting holes if you had like a shaker hood, more of a Challenger type setup. So, alright, so yeah, let's get this Z bracket mounted right here. Again, it came with the hardware. All the bolts and everything you're going to need right there. So, another cool thing I like to do is I set this mat out on the front just because I'm leaning on it, not wanting to get any scratches or anything on my paint. So this definitely really helps to keep everything nice and organized. Plus it's non-slip, so just one of the things I like to do when I'm leaning over the fender here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that bracket mounted, and we'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see here, I got that Z bracket stage up. It came with two spacers. One goes on the inside, one on the outside, and then it's a 13mm bolt that fits it. Now you're not going to be able to fit any kind of a socket in here really, so probably the best thing to do would be just to use a 13mm box wrench. Got one right here. So I'm going to come through and tighten it. Probably the main thing is that you know, these are an aluminum block, aluminum heads, and you're not going to want to just tighten the heck out of this because there's really no need to. The biggest thing is that you just get this catch can to sit level and then tight enough that it doesn't swing. So let me go ahead and get that box wrench in there and get it tightened up, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is getting this PCV hose out of the way. Then we can start putting in our new hoses. Okay, I got that 13mm tightened up, got the catch can nice and level. Next thing we're going to want to do is to remove your existing hose. I kind of pre-staged this one because it is a little bit of a pain. So what I like to do is, you know, the engine's pretty new here, only have a few miles on it, but still a couple of heat cycles. This plastic and this rubber kind of fuse a little bit. So what I like to do is just get a flathead in here and just kind of run it around, you know, while I'm being easy with it, maybe only halfway, kind of like that. And then just work that flathead around like that, and that kind of breaks that seal. Do the same thing back here for this one. And then once you do that, pretty much comes right out. Same thing, put a little twist on it, out it comes. So there's your existing hose. Just set that down. So now it comes with these two braided lines. Obviously you can tell the short one's going to go to here, long one's going to go back to here. It also comes with your hose fittings there, and then your hose cap ends. So first things first is we'll get these installed in the existing rubber lines. Also, another thing is you're going to want to get this to line up with this. So again, if you can, just try and put a little twist on it. A little bit more. And like I said, you're just going to try and get from here to here with it, okay? This one's already, can't really mess with it. So, like I said, I'll get those ends inserted, get these hoses up, and then, okay, so I got our hose ends in here. They actually don't stop, so you kind of have to just gauge for yourself about halfway in. And then when you're preparing your hoses, these are just loose. All you do is slide them over the end. I am going to try and hide the white lettering. So all you do is you slide that on there, come back through, same thing on this side. And there's one in there. You know, this is not like a high pressure system or anything. You know, you're talking about very small. It's not an oil flow. You know, you're just venting the crankcase. So really it's more air than anything. And then the catch can is just filtering out what any type of oil particulates that happen to be coming through that crankcase vent and then back into your intake. So, I mean, obviously everything's not super duper tight. You're not in here with a hose clamp or anything like that, just because it doesn't need to be. This isn't like a oil flowing system. So let's get this one set up here. Like I said, I assume these are, you know, as much for kind of just to make things look good as they are for function. These caps here, they probably just keep that nice braided end from fraying. So, we'll get the last one on there. Slide it on. And that should be that. So yeah, so there it is. The UPR Oil Catch Can. Like I said, about the only tool you needed. A couple of flathead screwdrivers, some needle nose, and 13mm. And that pretty much got it mounted. Like I said, I'm going to tackle this next. I'm probably just going to zip tie it to the bracket. Again, making sure I just don't have any kinks in it or anywhere where it's going to rub through the wires. But this still gives you some decent access to unscrew your catch can here. And you can just, you know, check your oil level. Obviously it's empty now. One thing it does note, which is probably pretty smart, is that there is a little rubber washer on the top of these threads in here. And again, you're not trying to manhandle any of this stuff. This is all, you know, you're not going to spring a leak on anything like this. So you can feel it get snug. Just a little bit. I mean, that's about it. You're not trying to kill anything here. You just want to make sure that things are tight, just for in case this fills up and it's kind of sloshing, nothing can get through. Just enough seal to let that filter work, filter the particulates out of the air, and get them back in your intake. Like I said, haven't done any mods to this. This is a Daytona model, so it comes with, you know, the factory Mopar cold air intake. But in researching these cars over the years, I know one of the first mods that everybody said to do was this oil catch can. So did some research. UPR was just one of those names that kept popping up. So far I'm super pleased with it. The quality seems awesome. And I think I paid around maybe 120, 125 with shipping. So it's probably about the average price of what you pay for a catch can. They're all very similar. They pretty much do the same thing, just, you know, UPR was one of those brands that I had seen a lot of the other Charger folks put on, so figured I'd give them a shot. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We have a few more videos coming up on some of the other must-do mods. First thing's going to be, you know, this one is the 392 Daytona, so it came with those 6-piston Brembos, and the dust is unreal. So we are going to be putting some power stops on. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.